Where do you see the anime community and the anime fandom in like the next few years?
It's really hard to say because I mean,
honestly, same. I think it'll be the same-ish.
You think it'll be the same?
I think
roughly.
I think it'd be the same, but definitely we're gonna start to see more, as you put it, weebs than actual like anime fans, right? Like because I feel that the whole genre of anime fans is kind of like, I don't want to say it's dying, but it's slowly becoming not as like in the spotlight as it was before. Right?
Saying you're an anime fan is sounding more and more like you're just saying you're a gamer. You know what I mean? It just means nothing because everyone's a gamer. You know what I mean?
I mean, I remember when I used to play online games like League of Legends, and I would make like a weeb joke or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like people would be like, "You're a fucking weeb, you disgusting." But now it would be like one person in the lobby who doesn't know the reference. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely don't think that much will change.
Soon we're gonna be calling ourselves otaku girls instead of gamer girls, right? Yeah, I'm an otaku.
I wonder, do you ever think that maybe like the degenerate side of anime might hold it back from going more mainstream?
No, I feel like that subculture is always going to be there.
Yeah,
because
if anything, it's grown.
Is there a chart of like time versus sort of sexualization of anime?
No, that's a great
I genuinely think that like that's probably one of the tropes that kind of just helps, like one of the cheap shots you can take to help retain people.
I just don't enjoy it at all in shows. I like hentai. I'll watch hentai if I want.
Well, you know,
it's separate.
You know what's funny? Actually, the guy who invented the ecchi genre in manga and anime.
Say the guy who invented anime.
No, the guy. Well, basically, the guy who invented like the kind of perversion in anime is the same guy who invented mecha. So they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, I actually believe Hideaki Anno helped popularize the anime boob bounce. It was literally called like the Gainax jiggle or the Gainax bounce for a while.
Yeah,
he directed that as well.
It's like 120 frames per second boob jiggle. It's just like everyone's like, all right, this is the future of animation, ladies and gentlemen.
You've probably seen the High School of the Dead one as well. So she shoots a gun and it like.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, and it goes through the.
Like her boobs are like jiggling and the bullet goes between.
Like a GIF or something.
Yeah, it's a very famous GIF.
Okay,
it's stupid. It's so dumb. But when it's like that, it's like, okay, now it's so over the top where it's like, okay,
it's entertaining again.
But then there's in the middle ground where you're like, why did you put this in the show? Like Fire Force, like that just had sexualization in it for no fucking reason.
I mean, there's a lot of shows that are like that where it's like, I thought I would enjoy the show because it kind of dealt in genres that I thought I would enjoy, and then it would just get side shafted by this random ecchi shot. And I'm just like,
it feels like immature. It feels like
I'm like, you didn't need that. You didn't need that to maintain my attention for this show. And it just feels like a cheap shot.
On Netflix right now in the States, they're like, it's like a mech thing, but there's like a guy and a girl in the mech.
Right.
What is that?
Oh, Darling in the Franxx.
Oh my God.
It's like, how can you take your story seriously when that just happens, right? Yeah. It's like doing a TED talk and whipping your dick out halfway through. It's like no one's going to take you seriously for the rest of the talk.
Okay, I would argue that no one should take Darling in the Franxx seriously.
No one took it seriously.
Not even the creators of the show took that seriously.
It's the moaning though. It's the moaning when they like lock in, like.
I've seen like the progression of, I guess, the fan service and sexualization, just kind of like having like going from there to there.
Yeah,
and it was just fucking Red Riding Hood being smashed by the wolf. And I think that was the whole premise. But the wolf was like, had like Riz. I like watched it because I was like, I wanted to see how possibly they could sell this.
Grandma, what big Riz you have?
It was like, no. It was like the wolf was like trying to like smooth talk. It was really fucking weird.
Oh my God.
And and the second episode was like,
that shit's invading anime now as well, because like I did it. No, I did a video recently on like an anime, and it is an anime. It's called My Life is Inukai's Dog.
I heard about this one,
and it's a show where a guy for some reason wakes up and he wakes up as a dog, and his high school crush picks him up and adopts the dog.
Yeah.
And it's an ecchi anime, so I thought it was just I've seen this in the before, like POV. You with a girl and she's exercising or something like that. So I thought it would just be, I thought that him being reincarnated as a dog would be just like a reason just for some very interesting, let's say, anime camera angles.
Oh, it's a POV anime.
It's kind of a POV.
Oh, God.
And then you watch episode 1, and then you realize, oh, like this girl, Inukai, this girl, she likes the dog. Like, she really likes the dog.
No, God, no!
I can't believe this is an anime.
Yeah, I saw this.
Because I
and
saw
I'm like,
screenshots of it. I'm like, oh, sick new hentai just came out. Yeah, and then people are like, oh no, it's being streamed. I'm like,
wait, you said you thought it was a sick hentai.
Okay, anime has gone too far now.
I don't know how true this is, so take this with a grain of salt. But somebody was saying that there's a rumor that Disney might be acquiring Shonen Jump.
No.
And I'm just, and in my head,
that's got to be a fucking troll.
Yeah,
post.
if it is a troll, then
that's got to be.
That sounds like a meme.
Yeah, if it is a troll, then I've fallen for the bait. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if Disney actually wanted to do that.
Dude, I cannot stand.
Well,
Disney.
because like think about it, it's like MCU superheroes, My Hero Academia superheroes.
The fucking like Thanos versus Goku memes would like become real and become like a legitimate talking
It would be horrible for like a realistic standpoint, but my god, the amount of shit posts and memes that would come out of this. I guess like some news that is more industry driven is the whole Funimation and Crunchyroll thing, right?
Got bought out by Sony. Big daddy Sony.
Sony buying out Crunchyroll and basically having control of like most of the big anime companies.
Basically just monopolize the Western market.
I mean, it is slightly worrying. Aileen, how much was it for? How much was, because we don't know.
Oh, that's right. They did do that, didn't they?
Yeah.
143
for Funimation.
For Funimation.
Crunchyroll, it's around 1.2 billion.
Fuck. Wasn't Amazon only like 900 million? When,
can you say that number again?
1.2 billion.
$1.2 billion?
Do you have any thoughts on why this might be good or bad for anime fans in general?
I mean, I'd say as a consumer, it would probably be better because
more money in the industry is always better.
Well, it's not only that, but I remember I would say like the golden age of like anime streaming was, remember when you could get every anime you could conceivably want to watch on one platform, which was Crunchyroll back in the day,
right?
And then it kind of just like got spread out to different streaming companies.
I mean, that was inevitable, but it was going to happen.
It was inevitable.
Yeah.
The big change I've seen is not in the content of anime that's being made, but just the sheer amount of anime that's being made. Like this season, we have like 38 fucking shows airing the season.
I just couldn't give a fuck.
Which is like, if you try to keep up with everything, that's watching 3 seasons of anime in one fucking week. Who the fuck's doing this? You know what I mean?
Because 20 years ago, I think I remember this from a video I made. I think 20 years ago in like early 2000s.
Yeah.
Each season we had 7 shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is much more manageable.
Biggest first world problem in the world. When
everything's
good,
everything's too good.
When everything's good, nothing stands out anymore. Like sometimes I watch a seasonal anime now, and it's like this is like the biggest 7 to 8 out of 10 in a seasonal anime, and I just forget it. And I compare like these like what I would call now like average shows, and I compare it to some of like the kind of like the mid shows that I would watch back when I was getting into anime, and they're like way better. When you reach the point where you kind of become part of the seasonal cycle, you kind of see the patterns. There's always the same.
Just turning it into a fucking conveyor belt. Right?
I had that exact experience when I went to go watch the Demon Slayer movie.
Yeah,
I was like, I took one look at the poster and I was like, I know exactly what's gonna happen. In this movie.
Yeah, exactly right.
Like just from like, oh yeah, this character's gonna do this and this character's gonna do this, and sure enough, I was like 90% correct on what happened.
Yeah,
and like, is that a good thing?
Like I love going into the world of manga because in anime you don't get that feeling of discovering that hidden gem anymore.
Yeah.
There's no feeling of discovery because everyone knows what everything good is, right?
You know what's going to come out 3 seasons from now,
there's no surprise anymore. I was 2 years old.
This is the era of VHS rental tapes and
right, of course.
Just going forward, like people, IRC list serves and stuff, like downloading random, getting throttled, downloading too much stuff, swapping CDs and things like that.
Burning
so
CDs.
how did you get anime back then? How does one get into anime back then? What was like the entry point?
What is this crazy looking thing? This rated R18. Oh, and you take it to the counter like. Because they don't care. It's like, oh, it's just some animation, whatever. Like that. It's like Wicked City and things
Oh,
like that.
I love Wicked City, dude.
So you got into anime during like the fucking 80s, 90s OVA boom,
The manga VHS era.
Oh my god,
it was
yeah,
it was amazing. Everything. I just go there and rent that stuff, and it just went from there to
that was kind of like a golden age in and of itself. Wasn't
because it was like everything you could like. Anime was so brutal back then.
Oh, yeah.
Everything was Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah, pretty much.
my school. Nobody. Not
Oh,
even
yeah.
like maybe like one kid from Hong Kong who like kind of like Dragon Ball. Like that was
Why is it always Dragon Ball?
yeah, I know. So yeah, you have like some of the little cards, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
And you know, it got to the point where it was things like going to specialty shops and like ordering. Like, say, I remember I bought the when Evangelion came out, like the movie.
Yeah.
I ordered the VHS tape because it first came out on VHS.
Yeah.
No subtitles. I wanted the highest quality, and I downloaded the script. So
You're like reading
my original experience of the Eva movie was sitting there going,
God. You were fan subbing yourself.
I was there, yeah.
Like you were like live fan subbing Evangelion. That's crazy.
Oh my god. I feel old when I talk about hard coded fan subs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And now we're talking about fuck hard coded fan subs. How about on paper, printed paper fan subs?
You printed out like 25 sheets of paper.
It was about that thing.
So you're like more of an OG anime fan than any of us.
Dude, we'd do things like where we'd swap VHS tapes. Like you'd
watch.
Yeah, I've heard about.
You'd have like your list of all your content. You'd have that like somewhere, and then people you're friends with, like they'd say, "Hey, I want that. What do you want from mine?" And you'd make a copy of the tape and send it to each other.
That's
so fun.